Greetings everybody. So recently I hosted a tour in Thailand, actually 2 tours in Thailand, and while on the first tour I was introduced to one of my new favorite Thai dishes called miang kham. This is a very popular dish that you'll find all throughout Thailand, and what they do is you take a leaf, you put a bunch of very powerful ingredients in it, add a little sauce, you pop it in your mouth. So you're filling this leaf with ginger, shallots, pepper, peanut. What's this one?
Coconut.
Coconut. And shrimp.
Wait, is it related to the beetle thing we had yesterday?
Yeah.
This is the Jorgen. It's quite the flavor.
This one is
the food, right?
Yep.
This one, roll it up.
Alright, I've got one. Vegetarian version, so there's no fish in it, no shrimp in it. And this is a lot of flavor. This thing's gonna kick my teeth out, but let's go. That was really delicious. The coconut especially. It's also really spicy, really gingery, really hot, sour, everything. All together. And the leaf is grassy and peppery. So the leaf adds to that. And well, that's really good. Eating miang kham is like being punched in the face with flavor. The most interesting thing about this dish when I had it for the first time was the leaf. The leaf looked like a beetle leaf, and I've never seen a beetle leaf used that way. So to check, I actually asked my guide, what is this leaf? And is that leaf beetle leaf? Is that beetle? It's beetle leaf, okay. If you're not familiar with it, beetle leaf is a close relative of black pepper. Basically, this is used as a stimulant. Not the leaf itself, but the leaf combined with something called areca nut, which is the seed inside of a palm fruit, and slaked lime, which is not lime like the citrus, but it's a mineral. So in the combination of these 3 things, they act with each other to be a very powerful stimulant. It's like drinking 3 cups of coffee all at once, and yeah, it's very, very popular. If you go to South Asia, Southeast Asia, you will see this around, especially if you take like a night bus or you ride a taxi, you will find your driver is probably chewing on this thing. It's a very fascinating, kind of controversial sort of thing, and I already made a video on it, so I'm not going to go into it too deeply, but I will link that below. I was very surprised to find something that I associate with being used as a drug was also being used as like a lettuce wrap, but not as surprised as finding out that that leaf was actually not a beetle leaf. No, I was wrong. My guide was wrong. And if you look for recipes for miang kham online, you will find people listing beetle leaf as one of the ingredients. They're wrong. This is, maybe some people use regular beetle leaves, I don't know. But the traditional way of doing this in Thailand is to be using a different kind of leaf that just so happens to look a lot like beetle leaves. It was on the second tour that somebody in my group actually introduced me to it, Keenan. So thank you, Keenan, for showing me what this was. Keenan, what is this?
I think this is definitely a piper of some species. I think it's Piper Sarmentosum.
Sarmentosum. Is there a common name for that, like English?
It's called Lolot pepper.
Okay.
LOLOT.
And people use the corns of it, like
I don't know.
these guys? Now I wish I could say that when I was introduced to the Lalot pepper for the first time, that I put 2 and 2 together and realized that that leaf was the leaf from miang kham. But at the time, I was still under the impression that that leaf in miang kham was beetle leaf. So all I saw this was another species related to black pepper and beetle leaf. So I was more focused actually on the peppercorn of it and mostly ignored the leaf of it. I don't know how edible it is to eat this, but I'm going to try to take a little nibble of it.
Yeah.
Bitter, green, only a little bit peppery, piney,
medicinal, like menthol-y. It's all right. Also, let me try the leaf. A lot of pepper leaves are also eaten. I feel like I should have had this first because this is so strong. Tastes similar, but more not as intense. Kind of like if you took like a bit of this and put on a piece of lettuce. But yeah, not the best thing out of hand, but I can see this being useful in like a medicinal preparation, just because it has like this little like menthol cough drop kind of taste to it. Cool, thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah, the flavor kind of reminds me of kava, because kava is also a piper. It has that kind of like earthy, like just this real, it's a mild pepperiness to it.
It wasn't until later when I visited a village in northern Thailand, I believe it was the Lana people. Betel leaf and Lalot pepper are very important to their culture. So I was shown how betel leaves are used, and I was shown how Lalot pepper leaves are used, and it was there that I was shown that there is a distinction between the two, and Lalot pepper leaves were used for miang kham.
We eat with this leaf. Yeah, we put sesame, ginger, shallot, lime, roast coconut, chili, and sweet salt on the top, and you eat one bite. We call miang kham. You try with bitter nut already. Yeah, this one is climbing. And this one for antibacteria.
Yes.
Yeah, smell different.
So it's a different plant?
Different hand, different hand.
Oh, thought it was the same.
Look like same but different.
This whole experience made me wonder something. Why don't people use regular betel leaves? Why do they use the Piper Sarmentosum rather than the Piper beetle? And I'm not sure. Because betel leaves, like regular betel leaves, are sometimes used for food. They are primarily used as a stimulant, as part of the preparation of a stimulant anyway, but sometimes they are used for food. In India, they are used to make ice cream. You know, if you have an Indian supermarket near you or a restaurant that might have it on the dessert menu, look for Mitha Pan, which I believe means sweet pan. Correct me if I'm wrong. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff in it. A lot of different herbs and spices, and it's really good. This is absolutely delicious. If you're like me. I think a lot of people actually wouldn't like this because it kind of tastes like you're eating potpourri. It's got like an aromatic wood taste to it, like sandalwood, rose water kind of flavor, and it has a lot of fennel in it, like candied fennel in there, and also a bit of spiciness. And I think the spicy sort of flavor, this like spicy herbal flavor, is coming from the betel leaves. And yeah, it's really, really good. That's really good stuff. If you like that sort of thing. If you don't like perfumey things, if you're one of those people, like you put like a little bit of lavender or something in a cake, you won't touch it, don't go anywhere near that. So yeah, why can betel leaf be used in this, but not in miang kham? Let's find out. See, betel leaves are actually not that difficult to get your hands on if you know where to look. If you have an Indian supermarket near you, you can probably find it there. Or you can get them online. They do ship fairly well. They last for a little while after you pick them. So you can get these online. Piper Sarmentosum, you can't. Not unless you live in an area where that leaf is used or if you grow it yourself. Piper Sarmentosum is not popular the same way that betel leaves are. I'm not sure how safe this is. I think it's fine, but you know, you might want to do some research on it. You know, betel, like the whole preparation of betel as a stimulant, where you have the leaf, you have the areca nut, you have the slaked lime, you have some other stuff maybe, some tobacco in there. Yeah, that is not good for you. Some people will say it's good for you, that it's like, oh, it's good for your teeth. It actually stains your teeth. Good for your digestion. Can cause stomach cancer. Like there's a lot of conflicting information about regular use of betel, but the offending items for that are the areca nut, not this. This, I don't believe, has really any negative things to it. I've actually heard some people say that having this leaf negates the negative things that are in the areca nut. Not sure if that's true, but yeah, anyway, the leaf is if there's something wrong with the leaf, it is the least of the offenders in the betel nut preparation. So let's try it out. I have right here, oh man, this is dangerous to pick up. I have an entire miang kham spread, all the fixins, the sauce, everything, and as you see in the front there, betel leaves, not Piper Sarmentosum leaves, betel leaves. And in order to prepare this, I took dried coconut, toasted it in a pan. I took peanuts, toasted those in a pan. I took sesame seeds, toasted those in a pan. I also toasted something called tua now, which I'm probably saying wrong. I can guarantee you that I'm saying it wrong. But it translates to rotting beans. And rotting beans is a condiment that is used in Thailand. People use it to give a kind of like a shrimpy, fishy kind of flavor to things without using shrimp or fish. And I'm vegetarian, so I figured this would be maybe a good thing for the sauce. So more on that in my Assam apple episode, which I will probably forget to link below, but look it up. Okay, so those are the toasted ingredients. Then I cut up a lime into small little bits. Usually people use shallots. I couldn't find shallots at the market today, so I used a red onion. And also bird's eye chili. Those are really hot little guys, so I cut them up real fine. In Thailand, people put like 2 whole chilies in a miang kham if they like spicy food. Me, I love spicy food, and I think like a few little shreds is more than enough. And also some ginger. I think it's good to get everything kind of like in a small dice. That way you can kind of control the amount that you're putting in your leaf, because these are all very powerful ingredients. To make the sauce, I just threw this together. I kind of winged it, but I took some palm sugar, dissolved it in boiling water, added the fermented bean paste, and also a little bit of soy sauce. And I let that cook for a while, then I strained it out. And I don't know if it smells fishy, but it's got a very strong fermented kind of smell to it. So I think that will do something. I will warn you, I do not know if this is a good idea, but I think it's gotta be done. I should probably also take this little stem out. That's gonna ruin my day. Okay. And I'm going to make a little cone. Coconut, sesame, peanuts, a little bit of ginger. I'm gonna put 2 little chilies in there, a little bit of lime, a little bit of onion, a spoon of sauce. Pack it. Won't lie, I'm a little intimidated by this thing. Let's go. I wouldn't recommend it. I think if I were to eat this preparation in any kind of quantity, it would make me sick. I think one is probably okay. But if I were to eat 3 of these, which I would happily do with the Piper Sarmentosum, I think if I were to do that with this, I would get sick. It's not the same. It feels like it's okay to have it like in your mouth, but not something that you should be swallowing, like toothpaste. It kind of feels like that. Something like that to it, where it's like something wrong with it. I think in ice cream it works because it's being used as a spice. You're using just a little bit of it. It's got like fairly strong like herbal taste to it, and it's kind of hard to chew. You know, the Piper Sarmentosum feels more like you're biting into a piece of lettuce. This you gotta like chew on. It's tough. Like this is a tough leaf. And yeah, it doesn't break down so easily while you're eating it. When you use betel leaf for the stimulant, when you do that whole thing, usually you don't even really swallow it. You know, some people do, but you spit it out as you go. And yeah, I think that is for a reason. It's not like a terrible taste, but kind of feels like something I shouldn't be eating. By the way, I looked at a bunch of recipes for miang kham just to see like what are people doing when they don't have Piper Sarmentosum leaves. And usually they use collard greens, which is interesting because those are like a very tough, bitter leaf also. So I'm not sure if that's actually the best way. I don't have that, but I do have some mustard leaves. And I think mustard leaves might be interesting because Piper Sarmentosum has like a little bit of a spiciness to it. Mustard greens also have a little spiciness to it. So I'm gonna try it that way and see if that will get this flavor out of my mouth. This is a bit big, so let's trim it a little bit. I think it needs a little bit more trimming. There we go. That is so much better than the betel leaf. I mean, first of all, when you chew it, it breaks down. It's more like chewing on a piece of lettuce rather than just like sitting in your mouth. I think the mustard leaf works really well because it adds that little extra spice to it. Maybe not as well as the Piper Sarmentosum, but you know, if you don't want to use mustard leaves, you could use lettuce leaf or kale or collard greens or you know what have you, and just you know work with the flavor of the leaf you've got. The main thing is not the leaf itself, it is all the different ingredients. Taking all of these very different and very powerful ingredients and making like this little parcel with it that you can just like pop in your mouth and get this little burst of flavor. It's fun. It's fun. And I think this would be a fun thing to have at like a party. You don't have to limit yourself to the things I have here. You can add like different kinds of nuts. You can add different kind of citrus to it. You could add some different kinds of herbs. Add some like cilantro in there or something. Chocolate chips, seaweed, do you, sprinkles. You can put whatever you want in this thing and make it your own. I think when I do this again, I will probably make a different sauce, put a little bit more effort into it. The fermented bean paste is just maybe too much. I definitely wouldn't use the betel leaf. There is a reason, a very, very good reason why the Piper Sarmentosum wild betel leaf, the Lalot pepper leaf, why that is used instead of this guy. When you see a recipe for this that calls for regular betel leaves, it's probably a mistranslation. But, you know, like, people do like this. You know, people do like it. They might acquire the flavor from doing betel nut and be okay with it. But for me, I think this may be a good ingredient to play with for making ice cream and desserts. I do like it like that, legitimately. But just eating the straight up leaf, no, don't like it. I would rather like any other kind of leaf. Anyway, I think that's about it. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Hope this was interesting, and I will see you all next time. I would like to give a big thank you to Smarter Everyday, Bill T, and Joseph McCorkle. They are mega patrons on patreon.com. Patreon is how I keep this channel going. It is a huge help, so thank you. And to anyone watching who is interested in learning more about how you can support the channel and get some really cool bonuses in return, like early access to videos, exclusive videos, over 100 of those. There's even a level where I will send you things in the mail. You gotta check it out, so check out the link in the description below.